Hey, Viola Rules here, and welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. So, we're still in Miu's trial, and it looks like we're about to have an argument armament against Kaito to try and prove why Gonta's the culprit, but to be honest, it still feels weird that Gonta's the one who did it. I know his memory didn't work while we were in the virtual world, but it still feels weird, though. I can't doubt my detective work now. If I want us all to survive, I can't back down. Argument armament start. Oh, wow.
I'll never accept this. Don't you know
match right off the bat. Apparently, I activated my special ability by accident.
Don't you know that about him by now? I'll never accept this. Don't you know Gonta at all? Damn it!
Okay.
Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick?
By your standards, I suppose.
Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't you believe Gonta?
Okay, apparently I activated my special ability now. It allows me to oppress any button I want.
Aren't you my sidekick?
Oh, that's how that one works.
Damn it!
Okay.
Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Keep saying the truth this, the truth that.
Whoa.
There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit!
Jeez.
Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Keep saying the truth this, the truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe?
Jeez, this is intense.
Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh?
Okay, he has a little bit of health left.
Keep saying the truth this, the truth. Damn it!
Final blow.
There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop!
Toilet paper discovered outside of mansion.
It ends here! Damn it!
The toilet paper we found outside the mansion. That's what the culprit used to get from the roof to the ground.
Right, like I said, they could have used it as rope.
The toilet paper?
The same toilet paper that was used as the murder weapon. That's why we didn't find it anywhere else. Not at the scene of the crime, nor on Miu's body. It was outside the mansion.
Hold on. If they use the toilet paper as a rope to get down from the roof, then they need to tie it to something. But there was nothing to tie it to.
Yes, there was. The binoculars.
I know, because I investigated the roof.
You're stubborn, Kaito. You're still going on about this.
Of course I am! I'm gonna believe in Gonta till the very end!
Well, good for you.
No, there was something that the toilet paper could have been tied to.
What?
Yes, the place where the toilet paper was tied down. The binoculars.
There! The binoculars on the rooftop. The toilet paper could have been tied there.
But how did they get it untied? Unless they had someone helping them, I suppose.
However, I don't think the culprit actually tied it down there. They just hung it.
What do you mean?
And then used the doubled up toilet paper to climb down.
Oh, and then rolled it back up once they got down.
But in that case, they would have had to tug on it in order to take it down.
Yep, That's correct, because I came up with that idea.
Really?
But I thought I told Gonta to put the toilet paper back in the bathroom.
He probably forgot, or we interrupted him before he could do that.
Oh, I guess he ran into someone on the way and then threw it somewhere close by.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I knew Gonta's behavior was weird.
Looks like Kaito's morale is shot, so this whole thing is done now.
Probably
The
not.
matter does appear to be settled.
It's just so weird. I was certain it was someone else.
So, it's true. Going to really kill Mew.
But I'm the one who came up with the plan. Anyway, just admit your crime, Gonta. Even though you don't remember, you still did it.
But why did Gonta do such terrible thing?
Wait, before you start crying, you gotta admit your crime first.
No, too late.
Stop. I won't let you, Kokichi. If anyone is gonna get him to confess, it's me.
Yeah, we run this trial.
Gonta, I'm going to look back at the whole case one more time, okay?
Okay.
When you're convinced, you just let me know, alright? Let's end this together.
Wow. Okay, so we have to do our closing argument now. So, do you guys, once I put all the pieces in? Okay, the closing argument is now complete. So let's hear the story
case
from the
began
very
last
beginning.
night. After being convinced by Mew, we all logged into the virtual world. To log in, you have to plug the memory and consciousness cords into the device. So, we all plugged those cords into our helmets and entered the virtual world. But the culprit had accidentally plugged their cords into the wrong ports. Because of this, a connection error occurred between the culprit's brain and their avatar. As a result, the culprit would forget everything that happened in the virtual world.
That's awful that that happened to him.
It's possible that this had an effect on their avatar's personality as well. Because I can't believe that someone so kind could commit murder. But we had no idea this error even happened. And so, we all logged in one by one. Meanwhile, Mew was the last to log in.
Yeah.
She had modified the killing game simulator so she could accomplish a specific goal. After Mew confirmed we were all logged in, she took out the bottle of poison and placed it on Kokichi's seat. This was done to make it look like Kokichi was killed by poison when we returned. Yes, the reason Mew modified the simulator and brought us to the virtual world was to kill Kokichi in the virtual world, but make it look like he had died in the real world. After we had all logged in, Mew explained the world to us. Use the salon phone to log out. Objects are unbreakable. Your avatars use all 5 senses. She also explained the map of the virtual world in the mansion's entrance hall.
Right.
But her explanation was intentionally false. She wanted us to misunderstand the world.
Oh, that's why Kokichi calls her out on it, because he can
However,
always tell when someone's
one
lying.
of us was able to see through her scheme. The very person Mew was trying to kill, Kokichi. Kokichi was going to use Mew's plan against her and plotted her murder. But Kokichi wouldn't do it himself. He used a patsy to be the culprit in this case.
Right.
Kokichi was tight-lipped about the motive, so I don't know why the culprit agreed. But it seems as though right after logging in, when Kokichi and the culprit went outside, they were already working together to execute the murder.
I suppose so.
Eventually, we met up with Kokichi and crossed the river to the chapel. Mew had us split up to try to find some secret of the outside
Chapel looks
world.
fancy in this.
Kaito, Kokichi, Gonta, Tsumugi, and I investigated the mansion, while Maki, Himiko, Kibo, and Mew investigated the chapel.
Right.
Splitting us up was also part of Mew's plan. At the chapel, Mew told Maki that she was going to look around outside. She chased after our group while we were heading toward the mansion. Once she made sure we were across, she dropped the bridge into the river.
Yeah.
This was to trick us into thinking that the river separated the mansion and chapel. At the time, we thought nothing of it. It was just another one of Mew's pranks. That's why we continued with the original plan to find the secret of the outside world. We went to the mansion and split up to look for clues.
Also, yeah, two instances of being split up, I guess. I
Kokichi
didn't even
searched
think
the
about
salon.
that.
Kaito searched the roof. Tsumugi searched the dining room. I searched the kitchen.
I love all like the little animations in the art because it's in the
And finally, the
Avatar
culprit
style.
searched outside the mansion. Around that time, Mew was headed for the wall that was on the side of the chapel. She passed through the wall and headed for the mansion to kill Kokichi.
But why did she want him
You see,
dead
the
specifically?
wall was a special wall that Mew had added herself. This wall was programmed so that only objects could pass through. And Mew had changed her avatar settings from human to object. That was the hidden route she prepared for herself. She set up a wall that only she could pass through. Mew headed toward the mansion, but she was seen by Tsumugi on the way. When she entered the mansion, she pulled out her cell phone. She didn't tell us that there was another way to log out.
Yeah, as long as you had a phone.
Then, she spoke a name into the phone, which forced that person to log out. It was Kaito who was on the roof at the time. The same roof where Kokichi and Mew were going to meet.
I honestly thought that happened because of his sickness at first.
By having
Until,
Kaito search
they
the
revealed
roof
thing
and
about
then
the cell
forcing
phone.
him to log out, she was making him look the most suspicious. But her plan didn't go smoothly. Kokichi was waiting on the roof with a culprit and the toilet paper used to kill Mew. While Mew was distracted by Kokichi, the culprit snuck up from behind. And used the toilet paper from the mansion's bathroom to strangle Mew. This was only possible because objects in the virtual world are unbreakable.
Right.
Mew's avatar was strangled to death, and the shock killed Mew in the real world. After the murder, Kokichi left the cleanup to the culprit and left the roof. He probably returned to the salon as soon as he could to avoid drawing suspicion.
Yeah, makes sense.
The culprit then took the lattice from the storage room and placed Mew's body on top along with the hammer and the cell phone. The culprit heaved the lattice over the railing and forcefully slid it down the roof slope. With a body on top of it, the lattice became a makeshift sled and flew off the roof. It went through the wall that only objects can pass through before crashing into the chapel. That was the crashing sound that Kibo heard in the chapel and we heard in the mansion. Mew's wall hid the fact that the mansion and chapel were actually right next to each other. That's why Tsumugi and I were able to hear the crash from the mansion. As the final step, the culprit had to then get off the roof. Because we were at the mansion, they couldn't take the stairs or they'd be seen. So they used the toilet paper again to escape from the rooftop. They hung the toilet paper from the binoculars on the roof and used it like a rope to climb down. Once the culprit was safely on the ground, they pulled at the toilet paper to retrieve it. They would have returned it to the bathroom, but they ran into us as we were leaving the mansion.
You know, I was wondering why there was a bathroom on the mansion, because it was mentioned that our avatars don't need to go to the bathroom, but I guess they wouldn't have had access to the toilet paper if the bathroom didn't exist.
In a panic, the culprit tossed the toilet paper somewhere nearby. Without that one little mistake, we might never have solved this case, because the culprit doesn't remember. This is the truth you've forgotten, Gonta Gokuhara, the ultimate entomologist.
Wow. Can I just say, for some reason,
Gonta,
I thought it was Maki
this is the
whole
truth
time.
we've reached.
I don't know why. I guess the strangulation thing, and because she strangled Kokichi earlier in the game, I thought it was her. I don't know why.
Sorry. Gonta not really understand, 'cause Gonta not smart boy. But if everyone agree, then everyone probably right. Gonta, trust everyone.
Gonta.
But why?
Yeah, I don't understand why either.
Gonta kill Mew, forget everything. Gonta even think he not do anything bad. And then Gonta tried to blame someone else and make everyone suffer. Why? Why Gonta do such terrible thing?
I don't know, your conscience is messed up for some reason.
Gonta, it's not your fault.
It's Kokichi's fault. He must have tricked Gonta.
Huh? I totally didn't trick him.
I was just about to say, what if it was Gonta's suggestion to kill Mew and Kokichi just came up with the plan, but it was Gonta's idea after learning that Mew was gonna kill Kokichi.
Before we go into that, it's voting time. We should finish up the class trial first.
Wait,
Is this the right answer? We're not being fooled by Kokichi?
For once, I wish that we were.
Huh? Wrapping things up already?
seems like it.
What a buzzkill of an ending! It lacks the rush of previous voting times.
Yeah, it does,
Well,
but oh
after
well.
so many killing games, I guess it was bound to happen eventually.
It's just as well. This killing game is a bad influence on the baby.
Oh my, Monotaro. You're even starting to look like a father.
Yeah! I gotta get my act together for the baby.
You're probably gonna forget exists. Yeah, Monica might feel the same way.
Now then, pull yourselves together and let's begin! The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off! It's voting time!
Okay, here we go. Voting for Gonta. Where is he?
It seems the voting has finished. Now then, let's see the result.
And so sad that it was Gonta. Like, I honestly did not expect him. Oh, Kaido. Why? It looks like Kaido voted for Kokichi regardless. But majority rules.
Who'll be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Last trial, all rise. Testimonial. I think I did pretty well this last trial. An A, yes. Nice. A's and B's across the board. Not bad. Absolutely right!
Wow, look at that! You voted correctly! Congratulations, you guys! And we'll see the conclusion to this trial in the next episode, where we have to see Gonta get executed. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. Also be sure to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter, as well as support my Patreon, and check out my reaction channel. All those links will be in the description below. And subscribe for more. And if you are subscribed or a new subscriber right now, be sure to hit that bell icon so you get notified when I upload videos. This is Viola Rules, signing off. Talk to you later.